And welcome back to Atreyu News. It is now Thursday morning, early in the morning I might add, May the 25th of 2017. I'm making this video in the wee hours of the morning because I think everyone should take advantage of this if they're able to. The cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and Ethereum in particular have shown themselves in this year to be truly rising stars. Now we have Bitcoin soaring at $2,500 per coin. We could see a similar graph to kind of depict what's happening. What has happened over the years and what is happening now. We're now at a point of hyperinflation because so many corporations are now getting involved in these cryptocurrencies. But on to different things. Bitcoin may have more than doubled this year, but rival Ethereum is up 2,000%.
The only cryptocurrency on the rise. Its closest rival, Ethereum, is up over 2,300%. On Wednesday, Bitcoin broke through the $2,300 barrier, marking a 137% year-to-date rise. The bullishness around Bitcoin has sparked investors' interest in other cryptocurrencies, including Ether, which has seen a 2,367% year-to-date rise. Ether runs on a different underlying technology than Bitcoin, and companies are interested in its real-world applications. The technology Ethereum is capable of smart contract applications, while Bitcoin focuses mainly on payment technology. While large companies see a technology opportunity, some traders worry Ethereum's technology could be cloned. The bottom line, a Bitcoin rival also has the market's attention.
Bitcoin may have more than doubled this year, but rival Ethereum is up 2,000%. It truly was a shock to watch the rise of Ethereum and Bitcoin since January of this year. Bitcoin has more than doubled in price this year alone, but it has been outperformed by its closest rival Ether, which is up over 2,300%. On January 1st, Bitcoin was trading at the day's high of $1,000 on Wednesday. It broke through to $2,300 barrier for the first time to hit a fresh record high of $2,377, according to CoinDesk, marking a year-to-date rise of 137%, which is most impressive. Meanwhile, bullishness around Bitcoin has stoked appetite for another cryptocurrency, or other cryptocurrencies. One in particular, known as Ether, is getting traction. Ether has risen from $8.24 on January 1st to a whopping, massive $203. I'm still in shock to watch this rising star on a daily basis. It's hard not to wake up in the morning with a smile on your face. Well, for the people who are involved anyhow. This represents a 2,367% rise year to date. And what is Ether? Ether runs on an underlying technology called Ethereum, which is a different blockchain to one that underpins Bitcoin. While Ether does have a digital coin like Bitcoin, companies are more focused on how the Ethereum blockchain could be used in real-world applications.
If you're a modern criminal, chances are you've used it to buy guns, drugs, and even launder money. Sounds dodgy. But high-profile institutions such as USAID and UNICEF have a different view. They think it could be a force for good, helping the poorest people in the world. It's a technology called blockchain, a global online database that anyone, anywhere, with an internet connection can use. Unlike traditional databases, which are owned by central figures like banks and governments, a blockchain doesn't belong to anyone. And with an entire network looking after it, cheating the system by faking documents, transactions and other information becomes near impossible. Here's how it works. Blockchains store information permanently across a network of personal computers. This not only decentralizes the information, but distributes it too. So how can a multi-purpose online database whose users include criminals work for everyday use? How does it stay relatively hack-proof? The answer is blockchain's millions of users. They make it difficult for any one person to take down the network or corrupt it. The many people who run the system use their own personal computers to hold bundles of records submitted by others. The records are known as blocks. Each block has a timestamp and a link to a previous block, forming a chronological chain. It's like a giant Google Doc with one key difference. You can view it and add to it, but you can't change the information that's already there. The blockchain enforces this by using a form of math called cryptography, which means records can't be counterfeited or altered by someone else. Blockchain's most famous application is Bitcoin. It's a digital currency that is created and held electronically, and you can send it to anyone, whether you know them or not.
Bitcoin provides a level of anonymity we've not seen in modern times. That's because, unlike credit cards and PayPal payments, there are no middlemen such as banks and financial institutions asking for our personal information and home address.
Instead, people from all over the world move the digital money by validating other people's Bitcoin transactions, earning a small fee in the process. Where the blockchain comes in is verifying the ownership of this digital cash and making sure only one person is claiming it as their own at a time.
Banks and businesses are rushing to adopt blockchain database technology.
In a survey of 308 senior executives at US companies with $500 million or more in annual revenue, Deloitte found that 28% of respondents had invested $5 million or more in blockchain technology. 10% had invested $10 million or more.
But why are they spending so much money? Well, to save money, of course.
When this study looked into the data of 8 of the world's largest investment banks, it found that blockchain could save them between $8 and $12 billion every year.
Bet that $5 million investment doesn't sound so bad now, but it's not all good news for the big players, of course.
Blockchain lowers the barrier for entry into the banking industry, and that means fintech startups are popping up in pretty much every market they operate in. If banks and companies can't keep up, they're putting their own survival at risk.
For the consumer, the future seems brighter with more security, less cost, and better experiences.
Yet, blockchain could be the biggest game changer for the poorest in society. The technology is open to people living in low-income countries or fragile states at risk of economic collapse. Take a farmer with a small plot of land which is then flooded. The paper copy of the deeds to his land is washed away, resulting in the farmer having no proof of owning the land. Or perhaps he does have a digital copy on a government database, but it is erased, altered, or even destroyed in a political coup.
If the farmer had filed that deed on a blockchain, he could have avoided all these problems. Along with speeding up the flow of cash and providing a secure place to keep records, the benefits for the poorest in society are enormous.
From protecting our identities to running autonomous vehicles to managing a world that is increasingly dependent on the Internet of Things, the possibilities of blockchain technology seem endless. But whether it lives up to its promise remains to be seen.
Bitcoin may have more than doubled this year, but rival Ethereum is up 2,000%. It truly was a shock to watch the rise of Ethereum and Bitcoin since January of this year. Bitcoin has more than doubled in price this year alone, but it has been outperformed by its closest rival Ether, which is up over 2,300%. On January 1st, Bitcoin was trading at the day's high of $1,000 on Wednesday. It broke through to $2,300 barrier for the first time to hit a fresh record high of $2,377, according to CoinDesk, marking a year-to-date rise of 137%, which is most impressive. Meanwhile, bullishness around Bitcoin has stoked appetite for another cryptocurrency, or other cryptocurrencies. One in particular, known as Ether, is getting traction. Ether has risen from $8.24 on January 1st to a whopping massive $203. I'm still in shock to watch this rising star on a daily basis. This represents a 2,367% rise year to date. And what is Ether? Ether runs on an underlying technology called Etherum, which is a different blockchain to one that underpins Bitcoin. While Ether does have a digital coin like Bitcoin, companies are more focused on how the Ethereum blockchain could be used in real-world applications. Ethereum has been designed to support so-called smart contract applications. A smart contract is a computer program that can automatically execute the terms of a contract when certain conditions are met, potentially taking a lot of the human involvement out of completing a deal. Barclays, for example, have used a form of this technology to trade derivatives, and I'll leave a link in the bottom of this video for this particular article. The point of this whole thing, though, is that this could very well be the opportunity of our lifetime to produce wealth without, well, obviously if you have money you did it at the sweat of your brow, I'm guessing, but this might be one of the main opportunities to build wealth in a 2017 system by investing in stuff like this. I do day trading on this platform called Poloniex, and one of my mentors always told me that a man or a person who puts all their eggs in one basket is a fool. So the idea to get wealth can't be from one direction alone. It's too one-dimensional. You have to think much bigger and wider than that. It might sound like common sense, but the idea to wealth is multiple avenues of small amounts of wealth or large amounts of wealth, but definitely multiple avenues. In any case, Poloniex, I would definitely recommend this for all your day trading. Runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and is constantly changing all the time. So once you purchase Bitcoins or Ethereum, you can trade them live time on something like this, which covers, I think, most, if not all, cryptocurrencies. But, like I was saying, this could be the opportunity of a lifetime. Because if someone invested about $1,000 in Bitcoin back in 2010, 2009 when it started, they would be sitting pretty, if not a millionaire, damn close to it.